Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to explore O'Keefe Media Group's journalistic coverage of the Epstein files and what he has uncovered from a DOJ investigator that has a big mouth. Got himself in a wee bit of trouble, but it adds some insight into the mystery around this. And I'm surprised, frankly, that this hasn't gotten the kind of attention that you would expect it to get, especially with everybody wanting to know what's going on with the Epstein files. So this video is specifically from O'Keefe Media Group. If my mods in here would be so kind as to post his channel link periodically as we were watching this, that would be great. That would be great. Very... Very interesting, huh? Hold on a second. Just got fucking people showing up at my goddamn house. Get in here. Come here. Come on. Get in here. Excuse me, neighbors. I am working. Where was I? Is this the Mensa meeting? No. Love the Viking music. Yeah, this is from O'Keefe Media Group. This is a surreptitiously recorded audio and video recording from Glenn Prager, Jeffrey Epstein investigator from the Department of Justice, admitting that Epstein was a CIA asset or informant, admitting that they let him get away with a lot of stuff because he was an informant. And then what's funny is the DOJ follows this up and says, we don't know who this guy is, basically, but his LinkedIn, where it said that he worked for the DOJ and was an investigator and shit, all of it just got deleted. But without further ado, let's start watching it. O'Keefe Media Group, please subscribe.
It's not talked about yet, but it'll soon come out that he was a CIA.
He was a CIA.
He wasn't a CIA. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there, but he's protecting a lot of people.
Because Trump's now saying it's a hoax of the case, like a hoax or something. Come on, you know it's not a hoax. You've been on the plane, many times. Mm-hmm. It's just he was never on the plane with the kid.
I've seen the itineraries and I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and rape occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton. That can't be said for others. But while the Clintons were on the plane, while Bill Clinton was on the plane, there were rapes that occurred.
While the Clintons were on the plane, while Bill Clinton was on the plane, there were grapes that occurred. And this is what the cover-up is supposedly all about. Donald Trump's not in there, but he is covering for a lot of different people. And then to round all of this off, you guys do realize that Kash Patel recently testified in a Senate hearing, I believe, that there is no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked children to anybody. The head of the FBI, on top of messing up the Charlie Kirk assassination, is now claiming that there is no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked children to anybody.
Overheard at Phoenix Airport on September 8th, 2025, a senior Justice Department investigator who personally worked on the Epstein case tells all. Glenn Prager, who has reviewed Epstein itineraries and has interviewed Epstein's victims, drops a bombshell. He says that the DOJ did not want to go after Epstein because he's a CIA asset, that the evidence from his investigation confirms that Bill Clinton was present for alleged rapes on the Lolita Express and that President Trump was not present for the rapes that Glenn Prager investigated, but that he is protecting a lot of other people that were.
How about this whole Epstein thing that's like going on?
I worked on that case. I used to interview all the victims. And my picture was 20 to 30 victims in Palm Beach that I was interviewing and dealing with and stuff like that. And then we go ready to go to trial. And they would flip. Epstein would just pay them off. And they were just like little kids. You know, they pay off their family. They're all broke kids and poor families and all. So you pay them off like anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000, nothing in that guy's world.
Prager there describes how the victims that he interviewed were paid off by Epstein right before going to trial. Prager has worked as an investigator inside the Department of Justice for over 20 years. According to Prager's LinkedIn About page, it says that during the tenure at DOJ, Prager served as an inspector overseeing sensitive investigations involving major DOJ components, including the FBI, DEA, Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, and the U.S. Attorney's offices.
This guy is a nobody. What are you doing, man? Who? O'Keefe is a nobody? What? You don't like O'Keefe? Sorry, I don't tell you. This dude's one of the fucking OGs of investigative journalism right here. You might not like some of his views or whatever, but homie is a fucking OG. Yeah, O'Keefe is the man. The fuck?
This seems to corroborate what Prager told us. He was tasked with interviewing Epstein's rape victims and investigating flight logs. On his backpack in the airport, we spotted an embroidered FBI patch.
I do my backwork, my homework when I look into shit. This dude does 5 times the kind of homework that I'm doing. You understand? This dude's got connections that I dream about. You know what I mean? I've got some fucking connections, but nothing like this cat. This dude gets information that that mainstream media corporations and either other journalists would drool over fucking having. You have no idea. You need to go through his channel. Go through his channel and look at all the shit that he's put out. This dude is a beast. This dude's a beast right here. He's got his little birdie network is massive. Yeah. I'm believing what I'm hearing here.
Which caught the attention of our citizen journalist.
I'll tell you this. No, it's not talked about yet, but it'll soon come out that he was a CIA.
He was a CIA.
Or he was a CIA.
Although many have suspected it to be the case, this is the first time a Department of Justice official has confirmed that Epstein worked for the CIA and is a foreign asset.
So
now, why would this guy be sitting here coughing all this information up? Well, if you can hear the voice of the citizen journalist that's getting him to spill the beans, she has kind of an attractive voice. And if you're getting an idea of Glenn here, he's kind of an unattractive, fat, older guy that would, use his knowledge about tantalizing situations to maybe worm his way into somebody's pants. I'm just guessing here. I don't know Glenn. Glenn might actually be a subscriber of my channel since this is out of Arizona. Who knows? But that's why he's bumping his gums right now. From a male perspective, all the dudes in my chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dude is hoping to get his dick wet tonight by telling this bitch all this shit that he knows. That's why he's being so forthcoming right now.
Jay was settling the case, and they were just letting him, do house arrest, and they minimized his arrest. Part of that is because all the victims kept on flipping, and they didn't have anyone to go to trial with. But more importantly, part is they didn't want to go after him. He's a asset for the United States and Israel.
There it is right there. The more important part is the DOJ didn't want to go after him, Jeffrey Epstein, because he's an asset for the United States and Israel for the CIA. This is the closest that we've come to getting truth on all of this bullshit right now. I mean, this is one of the investigators that have worked on it, that worked on the case. Now, the DOJ's right now trying to claim that this guy never investigated none of that shit, and this video probably ruined this dude's career and his life, but this is the closest that we've come to actually getting the truth.
For the CIA. I just know that's what he was. That's why he was so involved for this. And people turn a blind eye of all this garbage that he was doing in the United States. He had a lot of secrets. More about Israeli stuff than anything else.
Epstein had a lot of secrets, more about Israeli stuff than anything else.
I mean, he was doing stuff for Israel and the United States. He was, he's working for both.
Glenn Prager, the Department of Justice investigator on the Epstein case, then talks about whether President Trump was involved. Many are trying to tie Trump to Epstein, but what Glenn Prager says is that Trump wasn't present during the inappropriate sexual behavior that he was investigating. But Prager does say that Bill Clinton was, backed up by his experience interviewing the victims and reviewing the Epstein Lolita Express itineraries. Quote, they killed the Epstein list to protect the Clintons.
To protect the Clintons. This doesn't sound all that suspicious anymore, does it? Shit makes a whole lot of sense.
They claim that that Trump's involved in the rapes and all that stuff. And he wasn't. I mean, I've seen the agendas, I've seen the itineraries, and I've interviewed all of them. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and rape occurred.
And I believe this. I believe this because if there was a shred of evidence of that happening, somebody that doesn't like Trump would have gotten a hold of it and roasted him. They would have burned him down. He would have been impeached. That's why it's believable that he wasn't involved in any of that shit, but he's protecting a lot of powerful people. You know what I mean? Which doesn't make it any better, but
That can't be said for Clinton. That can't be said for others. I remember that it was being killed because I the Clintons were on there.
The Clintons were on there.
100%. And while the Clintons were on the plane, while Bill Clinton was on the plane, there were rapes that occurred. And that's what I'm saying. Trump, although as many flights as there were and all that kind of stuff, and on the island and all stuff, he was never there during a single alleged rape. But Clinton for sure. And that's where the big cover-up was.
The Department of Justice investigator inside the Trump Justice Department says that while Trump may not have been present during the crimes that Prager investigated, it is clear that Trump is, quote, protecting a lot of people.
I don't know what's new that I have never seen that he's so hesitant to now show what's going on, and releasing all those files. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there, but he's protecting a lot of people.
The citizen journalist boarded American Airlines Flight 1634 and landed in D.C. Monday at 8 o'clock at night and proceeded to go to dinner with this man, this DOJ investigator, at a restaurant called Blue Duck Tavern.
Exactly. Homie was thinking he was going to get laid, and he thought that I'm gonna swoon this woman with the information that I know, and hopefully she will take her panties off and let me see the something. That's exactly what he's doing right now. This is obviously a female. They were on a flight. He's like, hey, I know things. I'll talk to you. You just gotta take your pants off. It's not a big deal. Seems like a fair trade, except I don't think that actually happened. I just think he coughed everything up. She's like, okay, well, see you later.
Glenn Prager dislikes the fact Trump said the Epstein scandal is a hoax, but he also says, according to the evidence from his investigation, that Trump is not covering up for himself.
Because Trump's now saying it's a hoax of the case, like a hoax or something. I mean, come on, you know it's not a hoax. He does says a lot of stupid stuff. He's been on the plane, many times. It's just he was never on the plane with the kids. People want to tie it to him and say he's covering up for himself, but he's not.
Now, this is a very good thing for President Trump and seemingly exonerates him from many people who claim that he was doing something inappropriate himself. This dinner went on for an hour and 45 minutes as this Department of Justice investigator revealed things to a stranger that the leadership of the FBI and the Department of Justice has not. Prager.
Hey, Bear and Mods, the only people that have a pass on getting timed out or banned or anything on the channel are the people that pay. Mant Brew is paying to say whatever he wants in the chat, so I think that'll be a rule from now on. Anybody that is a channel member, type whatever the fuck you want in the chat, and I won't delete it, and the mods won't either.
Revealed more information about Trump's hesitation to be fully transparent
Yeah, you do have free speech in my chat if you pay for it.
with the Epstein case. Gave us some details about internal gripes against FBI Director Kash Patel from within the FBI, and he detailed a developing feud between Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi. If you'd like to see more of that conversation in the restaurant, you may subscribe to OMG and find it on our website.
Who is like the one name where you're like, oh my God.
For those of you that want to watch the rest of this, I mean, we're not done with the video, but you want to watch all of the video that he recorded or more of it, you're going to have to go to o'keefemediagroup.com and subscribe.
Here he is. Hey there, is this Glenn?
Yes.
You work for the Department of Justice, correct?
No.
You don't work for the Department of Justice. You had a patch on your backpack that said FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, in the airport.
Yeah.
And you talked about how you interviewed the Epstein people, all the Epstein victims. Do you recall that conversation?
I didn't. Yeah. How can I help you?
I wanted to confirm that you, in fact, did work for the department. Hang on with the phone. Let's try calling him again. Glenn?
I'm not talking to you.
Well,
I don't know if you are. I'm not talking to you.
you already did speak to my friend.
Now stop talking. I don't know who you are.
I'm a journalist. I need your help, sir.
I'm not talking to you or any journalists about anything.
Did you interview the Epstein victims?
I can't talk to you.
Sir. On the heels of releasing this story, I wanted to emphasize just how touching it was for me to see Erica Kirk stand on stage in front of those 74,000 people in a stadium and say that she forgives the assassin who killed her husband, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I'm not a forgiving person. If you shoot my old lady or my kids, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm going to fucking hunt you down.
She took this photo standing right in front of her when she did that, and I wept. The people standing next to me also wept. In the couple days that followed since that Sunday, it dawned upon me that equally as important as forgiving those who trespass against us is for those of us, the living, to achieve justice and accountability for the bad actors behind the scenes corrupting this country. We must have a Department of Justice that is actually about justice. If we do not have any accountability for bad actors, good people, even God-fearing people, are going to resort not to forgiveness, but vengeance. We cannot allow that to happen. And the only solution is exposure, journalism, sunlight, as the best disinfectant. When the leadership in our government is not forthcoming and transparent about matters they should be, you will see men on the front lines, men on the inside, like this Glenn Prager guy, who are familiar with the files, familiar with Epstein, familiar with who's on the airplanes. Indeed, he's the guy who actually interviewed all the victims in Palm Beach. Well, you'll see people like this be forthcoming and honest.
Exactly. And that is exactly why I have so many cops in Arizona, so many fucking officials in Arizona that talk to me, is because of what he just said right there. When the people of authority are not forthcoming or honest about what's going on, people become disillusioned. They talk about shit. They want to reach out because they don't like it. Just like what you're seeing now, obviously, dude was trying to use some of his knowledge to get laid, but at the same time, he was complaining like, "Oh, Trump's saying it's a hoax. It's not a hoax." And that's the disillusionment. That's the trigger that we need for people to reach out to independent journalists. Right there. That's how I get a lot of contact right there. Because when departments are not doing things right and then they see a pattern of me putting them on blast, I'm me, him, people like us are the only route to the sunlight, like he talked about, to exposure. Because they know that they can't go to media. They know that like mainstream media, most mainstream media is tied in with the government quite heavily.
When their leadership isn't. I recognized Prager's life is now changed forever.
Yeah. You don't work for the government anymore. You got a big mouth. Yeah. Glenn lost his job.
You might be tempted to focus on that and focus on him personally. We have no doubt that no matter how much proof is provided by me, powers that be will deny, deflect, personalized, and cover all of this up. You may wonder how it is these guys in our government so brazenly open up to total strangers in airports about national security secrets. Please note, this isn't about him or Glenn Prager. It's about opening the floodgates of honesty from other men who are just like Glenn Prager, but who never wanted to be involved. We're just following orders. Prager lived with these secrets, and the horror of what he knows lives on his conscience, the weight on his shoulders. He lives with the guilt for knowing the truth. That is why he was so forthcoming in public in the airport. That is why others with national security secrets will continue to be so forthcoming to our army of citizen exposers. And there are many more out there like Glenn Prager. And now, right now, you who are watching must come forward and tell the truth and be transparent. Be a hero and do the right thing. In the last few weeks, I've reached out.
You hear that? Somebody is listening that needs to hear that. I hope I have police that are listening, government officials that are listening. You are at the forefront of transparency. And people like me and O'Keefe and other YouTubers that work along the activism route of transparency, we need your help to keep America on the straight and narrow and sane. Otherwise, we're going to end up like China or Russia or the Soviet Union. and none of us want that. So I'm hoping that there are officials listening now or when this becomes a video that hear that and decide to reach out to somebody. Word of advice to those kind of individuals that I'm talking about, it's always better to reach out than to be surreptitiously recorded. Because if you reach out to me with information, I'm not going to put you on blast. And I'm sure he wouldn't have, but normally people like that won't reach out. And frankly, let me ask you guys a question. Would this be more believable if O'Keefe Media Group went up there and said, we had a source come and tell us all these things, or is it more believable because they recorded it and showed it to you? And this is where I conflict with a lot of this, because if a source is going to give me information, I don't want to burn. My whole goal at that point, and once I have a source, is to protect it. I'm the AJ. Sorry here. Yeah, I don't forgive.
To top officials of the Department of Justice repeatedly ahead of these reports. Our attorneys even sent a letter to the FBI Director Kash Patel. There seems to be more of an interest, generally speaking, in covering their ass instead of telling the truth. While we expect that of the previous administrations, we expect better of the Trump administration and those who campaigned on the promise of transparency. Now, I was advised that reaching out far ahead of time would lead to this story being suppressed, something that my team, and I dare say all of the people who actually voted for this administration, can't comprehend. But these reports are going to continue coming out, and they will not be partisan or political. They're going to cut across the political divide, because this is not a political mission, and I am not a political person. It is my mission to clean up society through transparency, accountability, and the truth. I wrote last week, the legacy of Charlie Kirk is to do the right thing for the right reasons. And reflecting on his legacy, I saw a remarkable change within him.
Do the right things for the right reasons, even when nobody is watching.
In the last couple years, but especially the last couple months of observing him from afar and also knowing him personally. I reached out to Charlie to solicit his advice ahead of this story. I was expecting Charlie Kirk to express the same reluctance as the top DOJ officials relayed to me. The same officials that Charlie, no doubt, in some part or in some way, matter, shape, or form, helped to get their jobs in the first place. I told Charlie I was conflicted about what to do. And Charlie Kirk's last words to me were, James, you should be a journalist first.
So the Department of Justice released a statement about what we watched. And they said, this individual worked at the Department of Justice as a program analyst for over 15 years ago. He has no understanding of or access to the underlying facts in this investigation. His statements should not be considered accurate. It is disgusting that someone would further exploit victims of sexual abuse by fabricating stories for their personal benefit. What do you think? What do you think? You think they're lying? And he followed this up 2 days ago with another 4-minute video. We'll watch this. Remember, this is O'Keefe Media Group that we're watching. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm sure my mods will provide a link for you.
On the heels of releasing this story,
this one is called My Comment, DOJ Epstein Investigators Shocking Revelations in the Attempt to Cover It Up. So the DOJ is trying to cover up this little leaky poo that happened
I wanted to emphasize just how touching it was for me to see Erica Kirk stand on stage in front of those 74,000 people in a stadium and say that she forgives the assassin who killed her husband, Charlie Kirk. I
can't.
actually took this photo standing right in front of her when she did that, and I wept. The people standing next to me also wept.
Yeah. You guys are better people than me that can forgive. I'm not a forgiver. Not of shit like that. You know what I mean?
In the couple days that followed since that Sunday, it dawned upon me that equally as important as forgiving those who trespass against us is for those of us, the living, to achieve justice and accountability for the bad actors behind the scenes corrupting this country. We must have a Department of Justice that is actually about justice. If we do not have any accountability for bad actors, good people, even God-fearing people, are going to resort not to forgiveness, but vengeance. We cannot allow that to happen. And the only solution is exposure, journalism, sunlight, as the best disinfectant. When the leadership in our government is not forthcoming and transparent about matters they should be, you will see men on the front lines, men on the inside, like this Glenn Prager guy, who are familiar with the files, familiar with Epstein, familiar with who's on the airplanes. Indeed, he's the guy who actually interviewed all the victims in Palm Beach. Well, you'll see people like this be forthcoming and honest when their leadership isn't. I recognize Prager's life is now changed forever. You might be tempted to focus on that and focus on him personally. We have no doubt that no matter how much proof is provided by me, the powers that be will deny, deflect, personalize, and cover all of this up. You may wonder how it is these guys in our government so brazenly open up to total strangers.
This is just a cut out of the last one. I get it. I get it.
James O'Keefe.
Shout out to James
Is sitting
O'Keefe.
on James O'Keefe, man. These guys, the way they do things, man, let me tell you, he is, they're very good at what they do. How they get these dates and whatever places they focus on, they're phenomenal at what they do. So here's
Yeah. This shit's getting overshadowed, but this is definitely where there's some information at. There's a lot of other stuff in here on this guy's channel. I would highly suggest going through and watching a lot of this. So what's everybody's thoughts here? Do you think that Glenn was trying to smooge some chick and get laid, or does he actually know something and maybe he said too much? Alex Jones? Mm-mm. I like listening to Alex, but he runs too far afield with the shit sometimes, and it's gotten him in trouble. The response proves it. You think so? don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff happening in the world right now. The frogs are gay. Yeah. Too many conspiracies. Yeah. That's pretty normal with animals, actually. My goats. Great clip though from Alex. Yeah. Yep, that was O'Keefe Media Group. Um, what really turned me on to his channel was when the floodgates for illegal immigration were open during the Biden administration. He heavily followed where tracking the migrants, where they were going, what they were getting, that kind of shit. So if you were like interested in all that, he went into a deep dive investigation into that, and that's when I started paying attention. Teaser for likes. No, he's just smart. Who lied, Jim? Oh, Alex Jones lied about Sandy Hook. Yeah. Yeah. Alex Jones lied about Sandy Hook and got sued big time. Yep. And that's why you went to jail? The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, that opinion cost him millions. Go listen to his Joe Rogan interview that he did a while ago, but he explains the whole Sandy Hook and how much it cost him and how much of a mistake he made straight from the man's mouth himself. So we don't tell D secrets like that. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, for those of you that are interested, I'm going to end this live stream here soon. We'll close it out with a song, and then I'm going to go live on my personal channel and show you somebody that violated their bond conditions and is probably going to go back to jail. So we will be doing that on my personal channel over on Christopher Ruff. Bear, that's your cue to stop chit-chatting with everybody and post my fucking link in the chat, bro. Thank you. Where can you send me links to check out? On X. If you message me on X, send me links, I'll watch them. And then if they're interesting, then I will play them. Let me show you my X account. Yeah, you want to send me some links, something I might review live? You can message me on X right there. Yep, I'm gonna be live on my personal channel. Yeah, maybe an hour or two. I got a big schedule today. I fucking 2 lives here, 1 live on my personal channel. Then I gotta record a script that's gonna go on Lucid Layer's channel. Lucid Layer, something like that. I always fuck that one up. It's not a comet, it's the aliens coming to visit us. We're being bad humans. Basically. If you haven't used the like button since you've been here, you should definitely use it. If you're trying to follow lives, JD is live right now. Go over there and check his live out. Uh-oh, it's frozen. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be live in maybe an hour or two. Maybe sooner. Who knows? Anyway. Have a good day.
of nights, now I'm losing my sight, yeah. Am I alright or am I losing my mind, yeah? Anxiety gets high if I'm losing my life. Will I die tonight or will I survive? When my health aside, my mind feels confined. I feel like mankind, like they're on cloud nine. I'm in the mud like swine. I just need a sign, freshed up like pine. Now my slime turns to prime, fucked